Okay, welcome to Sit Still Look Pretty. This is my first blog ever. I've never done this, so bear with me. What this blog is going to be about is women in the workplace and Jesus, Lily, and in school, and stay-at-home moms, all of it. Like, this is to empower women in general. My name is Danielle, and what I do is I work construction. And in my particular line of work, it is the majority is men that I work with. And I am by no means eloquent, so again, bear with me. And I'm going to address many things. But today, we're going to address particularly just working with men and dealing with men.
And deal with men harassing women.
Well, yeah. Okay, so in the last week, for the first time in 4 years working construction, I dealt with what I would consider a harassment issue. Now, working construction, I deal with, you deal with a lot of locker room talk, stuff like that. That's kind of a given. But when a man pushes himself on you or, won't stop hitting on you when you've told him that you're married and so on and so forth, or just stop, that's not okay.
Legally harassment.
And it's harassment, yes, Lily. And my daughter has dealt with this at school as well. And so this is just something I want to deal with. Now, I would have to say, like I said, I'm working with men 90% of the time. I have no problems. They are, well, I wouldn't say gentlemanly, but it's construction. But they're not straight up assholes. And, well, here, I don't know, Lily, how... So, basically, in this particular sense, I would say I was put in a position by a superior that I never should have been put into. It put his hands on me, whole 9 yards. Now, I probably should have kneed him in the gut or in the balls, either way, and I should have turned him in. Of course, I tried to deal with it in a more hospitable manner. And, hindsight being 20/20, I'm going to say anyone that ever puts their hands on you when you don't want them to does not deserve to be treated in a hospitable manner, period. So, if I could go back and do it again, not that I want to by any means, I definitely would have had him singing in a higher octave. And, which is ironically the advice I gave my daughter when she was dealing with the assholes at her school, and found myself, once put in the situation, unable to follow said advice, which was both disappointing and frustrating, and the feeling of helplessness and the words, I'm not, like I said, I'm not eloquent, so I'm trying to find the words here. But can you help me out here, Lily? My daughter, she's learning to drive as we're doing this, or as I'm talking.
I don't know, I wouldn't say helplessness.
Put in a corner. Belittled. That's a good one. Belittled. Devalued.
I say one word, you come up with like 4.
Right, yeah. Well, I mean, when I go onto a job site, I work my ass off to prove myself every single day, because I'm working with men twice my size, and I have to be able to show that I am worth my salt, or worth my weight in salt, I guess is the saying. And so to be constantly trying to prove your value and prove your worth, same thing, and then have someone just step in and make you feel like you're just a piece of ass. Like you have, it's not okay. And then this week, Another person had a bunch of derogatory things to say in regards to, I got someone some pie. Okay? And somehow that turned into, just, apparently fuel for a bunch of derogatory language and whatnot. And I mean, I dealt with that with a little bit more grace. Not really grace, but straightforwardness, perhaps, without trying to be a bitch. But I'm at a point now where I think being a bitch is necessary. And it doesn't matter if it's the first time they've done it, or it's the 10th, or if it's the 10th time, that you need to be filing charges. If it's the 10th time, you should have done it, like, at the second time. But, yeah, I don't care what job you do, where you go. I don't care if you're a freaking stripper. No one has the right to put their hands on you, or belittle you, or talk to you in such a way that you feel devalued. Period. And it shouldn't happen at all. And now it doesn't happen, at least it shouldn't happen often. If you're in a position where it does, you probably should consider changing your position. But, like, I work construction. 90% of the time, the guys, they're great. I mean, they're guys, but they're great. And they don't typically treat myself or any other women on the job that I've ever rarely run into.
High school's different.
Wrongly. Oh, I'm talking about my job right now. But now, high school, we're not dealing with men. We're dealing with boys. Okay? Now,
it's like flies. It's like, you can deal with them, but it never really helps. You gotta deal with, like, one each day. It's a process.
So this is a problem. Okay, so dads, moms, you need to teach your boys how to behave in general. Like, just with respect. And just, that's it, right? Respect.
Yeah.
And just not being assholes. Like, it's not that hard to look at a girl and be, oh, honey, your shirt has lifted up. You should probably pull that back down. Or, I was on a job site, the last job site I was on, and when I had a guy that I worked with all the time, and when he caught someone staring at me, or staring at my ass specifically, he'd turn around and tell them that they need to look somewhere else. And, that is what a man does. A man stands up for somebody else. A man protects those around him. So teach your boys how to be men, not how to be big boys with that, think with the heads between their legs instead of the head on their shoulders. I mean,
I think they're big boys, and I think that that's all they're good for.
Yeah. And guys, you can do better. You can be better than that. And women, I mean, for crying out loud, we give birth to you. And I promise you, it's not an easy thing. So, step up. Be there. Protect the women in your lives. Don't ever make them feel like they need to be defending themselves. Today, when I'm leaving work, I'm deciding, well, I say I'm going to go to the store, I'll get some chicken. Maybe I should pick up some pepper spray, too, just in case I get cornered at work. Like, that's not okay. Ever. So, that's my piece on that.
Well, I always have pepper spray on me because of all the guys that have attacked me.
My daughters carry pepper spray. And I don't live in a big city. We live in a small town. So, there's no excuse for this kind of behavior, guys. At all. Ever. Ever. Get yourselves under control. Now, so, day one, or what is this? Not day one. The blog one. That is our bitch fest for today. Now, typically that is not what I'm going to be going over all the time. I'm going to talk about the pros and cons and the joys and letdowns of working just in general and in life. I want to interview stay-at-home moms and working moms and just women I see as strong, capable women. And I want to talk about the struggles and the joys and all the stuff, because it isn't always hard or like difficult like this. It's a lot of times I actually really enjoy what I do, and I enjoy working with the good guys. And I want to empower other women, and I want other women to see, like, a job like this where there's not a lot of women in the job, or even if there is, but, you know, be able to reach for what they like to do and what they want to do, and not be, well, judged for it, or feel like that's something they can't
I still like belittled.
they can't do. What?
I still like belittled for this purpose.
You still like belittled?
The word belittled.
Oh.
It's a good word to use.
Oh, well, we're talking about being devalued. She feels the better word is belittled. But, so yeah, I mostly want to empower women, not just at Bitch Fest, but, in this particular case, women, do not allow men to treat you as anything less than amazing, because you deserve better than that. And that goes for men too, really. I mean, men, don't allow women to corner you either. I mean, that definitely shouldn't happen either, ever. And people deserve to be treated with respect. Like, just the common respect of a human being. Okay? Don't make the world worse. Wake up every morning and decide to make it a little better. The world sucks already. So, do something better with it. I'm a bit of a dork, sorry. Okay. See ya.